us again today for another meeting or session of our Living with RSDS support group. I'm glad you could join us again today. We're going to continue some of our discussion from the last time about relationships. That seems to be a big issue regarding intimacy, how our husbands or spouses or significant others deal with some of these issues. So anybody have anything they want to open with?
Mine's very positive. I honestly do not have a bad thing to say.
Can we clone
Is he
Probably.
for rent?
I can honestly say, in all the years we've been married, we have never fought.
Wow.
Has he never had an issue dealing with this where it was hard or tough or where he had his moments?
There's been issues where I haven't been able, let's say, to make dinner, and he'll go and say, what you feel like? And I'll go out and pick it up. Or he'll talk to me about his side of it and how he feels.
Which is
I don't know.
Like what? Like how does he
Like-
feel?
Oh, I feel strange saying this. Our intimacy is not the same as it was beforehand.
I think it, number one, length of marriage changes it, age changes it, but I think this has a great impact on it.
This has a very big impact.
Big impact.
The medicines you take bring your libido down. You're not feeling good anyway, so things have changed, and he has been very, very good about those changes and understanding them, and we're still making it work.
I think in some ways we're lucky. It may have happened a little bit later in life for some of us, where we already have had children. We've already had the house. We've got some of that behind our belt. So even though intimacy is an issue, we can work on it. Or some others, dating, single life, or, wishing to have kids. I mean, that's got to be a tremendous thing to deal with. And to deal with this. Because like you said, we live on two levels. There's one that we're trying to deal with the pain and everything that goes with it, and then trying to deal with everything else. And sometimes that person comes in, your significant other, and they just want to tap you on the shoulder or grab your hand, and you're like, oh, don't touch me. And they take that as a rejection, and it's not a rejection of them. It's
But
just
they do take it like that.
it's just a rejection. Look, I'm gonna hurt when you do it. Let's do it slower. Like, don't startle me. Let me see it coming. I can prepare if it's gonna hurt, because I don't want you not to do it. I don't want to lose that, but you do.
But I can tell him that even though the intimacy is less, I need more touch. I need more holding.
More comfort.
I need more comfort. I need you still to grab me at night and cuddle with me. I still need cuddling. I still want to hold your hand at the movies, And it was something that he was not doing because he was thinking, ooh, don't touch, it'll make her hurt, kind of thing. And didn't realize that he wasn't doing as much of it anymore until I brought it up to him. So I think it's been pretty much with mine. I've been very blessed to have it a two-way street, that if he has an issue, he brings it up to me, and if I have an issue, I bring it up to him.
Wow, that's big.
You are lucky, because that's big.
That's great, yeah. Because that's all part of intimacy. I mean, holding somebody's hand is part of intimacy, too.
It's being close. It's relating. It's letting that person in. And a lot of us put up walls. Once we get that pain, our world is that pain. And
Pain is so isolating.
And it is. And we end up cutting everybody off. And we, our human beings, need touch, need comfort. You don't always need the other part of it as much, but you need that feeling of relating to a human being. And we tend to get isolated. And it's one of the reasons I think personal support groups like this are so good. It's because you're relating one-on-one, two-on-two as a group, versus just typing and hoping the person can't see your face and understand what you're saying. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad.
On Facebook. Yeah.
I'm just saying I think this has a stronger impact with people because you're there relating. You're actually talking to a person, having a conversation. And I think sometimes we forget how to do that. We're so wrapped up in this pain that we forget how to talk to people.
Forget about everybody else.
Forget how to relate. Forget how to talk to somebody. What do I say when I go out? Because I spent the whole day on the couch.
Right.
And we forget we're people too. We have interests. We have lives. They matter. But the pain overshadows everything.
Sure does.
And, I've been married, going on 27 years. We've been together over 30. And it's got its ups and downs. You go through waves where, the same with the CRPS, it goes through waves. Gets a little better, things might get a little easier. It gets bad again, and then you're back to square one again because you have to start over.
Right.
You know, there's that rejection, that fear, that guilt. We both deal with it, and then you have to work through it, and sometimes it's not easy.
Yeah, it's given me a horrible case. Probably the worst thing he's had to deal with. It's given me a horrible case of depression and anxiety, where I've had to have been put on medication for that.
Well, it's not something you
Yeah.
signed up for.
Yeah.
Because of having the CRPS so long. It's really, and that's where I needed to talk with him more about, which was probably the most difficult thing I had to do, is say I needed mental help.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got it.
And I got it, and thank goodness I did, and
Yeah, thank goodness you recognized it. Thank goodness it's available. Thank goodness you got it.
I got
you
it,
know?
and I still, if I don't take those meds every day,
Right.
I think we're
I
afraid
should-
to ask
I
for
should.
help sometimes
Oh,
because,
I-
This is true.
because we think we're so needy already and we're already
Right.
problems
You don't
to
wanna add
somebody.
something
we don't want to add
else.
to it, so we
I waited too long.
we wait too long because we don't want to be any more of a burden or
Yep.
Yeah.
an issue or rock the boat any more than we rocked it. Not on purpose. We
That's
don't
the way
intend
I
to.
always feel about being a burden. That's been my biggest issue, is that I'm a burden to everybody, and that's when I got into the depression. And I'm actually have a gentleman friend now that
Good for you.
yeah, and I've explained to him all about it. He's looked at the RSDSA website and seen the videos, and so he's very familiar with it. And I think that the thing is that there's a lot of communication. So when I'm starting to feel bad, he'll start to touch my arm, and he'll go, oh, that's your bad arm, right? I said, but you can touch my left arm.
We gotta make some
Switch.
rules here to the game. Here's a bow on this arm. You can
Switch
touch this
sides.
arm. Here's the bow.
Switch
This side's
sides.
good. This side's not. But
So-
it's hard. It is, and after a while, it becomes this big elephant in the room that you don't want to talk about because you're upset, they're upset, and it's like, how much more upset do you want to put? Recently I just sat my husband down. I said, what is wrong? Like, I can see it. I can, the snappiness. There's something. And we had a talk, and, there were a few issues, and some of it was something I could handle that, it was just do it a little differently, talk this way, or, just remember I'm a human being too with my own issues, because we do become isolated. I forget
Yes.
that he's got issues too because I'm so busy dealing with mine
Right.
that I overlooked his. And that was a problem because I was just not being, he didn't expect me to take care of his problems, just be aware of them that he was dealing.
Well, he has needs too. I mean,
Yeah.
he has to feel wanted.
He's a
and he has to
person.
feel heard, and
He's in this
Um,
relationship too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I think sometimes we tend to get that little tunnel vision because the pain becomes everything overwhelming that we just lose focus. And
I liked your idea about go to the movies.
I think
because-
that is. I think sometimes it really is incumbent upon us to take advantage of the good days or the good hours,
Yes, do
whatever,
something.
good part of a day. And remember that, we're in it together, whoever your partner is, you're in it together. But, try to do things for them, even if you don't necessarily feel like doing something. Like, kind of force yourself, like, go to the movies. And to me, when someone asks me, I know Sharon's a big movie buff. I always say our little Siskel Ebert over here. I'm always like, go to the movies. It's so easy. You don't have to, if you're not really feeling well, you can just sit there. You don't have to
We
keep
do it
up
every
a
weekend.
I look at it as
conversation.
mental therapy. It takes me to another place.
Exactly.
Yes.
You're in
Every
a different
weekend we do.
world, you can take a blanket like Sharon does. You can, I bring out, take one of the kids' little stools and I put my feet up on it. And you can, it's a way for both of you to get out of the house, do something different. Because even if it's someone you love desperately, you might not even feel up to carrying on the conversation.
but
just-
you're with them.
But
Yes.
exactly, get
But
in the
you're
car and go
there.
to the movies. It's
And then it gives you
the
something
most
to talk
benign
about.
thing to do.
He started
Right.
going with me recently. We have to agree on the movie ahead of time. Because I would just get up and go, it's 10 o'clock, what's 10, I'm going. And he just go, I didn't even wake up yet. And I said, okay, so we will agree ahead of time that maybe we'll go see this movie, and I won't go see it without him, and like in the afternoon, like at noon instead of 10. And we'll go. And then maybe we'll run an errand afterwards, and then maybe and it ends up being a nice couple of hours. where
Right.
We're just doing
It breaks up
something
the day.
together.
You're doing something together. Right.
We recently started going to music. He loves music. I cannot take the vibrations, the noise, the people. I mean, you just, oh my God, I cringe. But we found out when we go to PNC, they have a handicapped lawn section. You can have your own chair and table to sit. I don't have to sit in the crowd. I sit away from everybody. So we've been able to at least go see a couple of concerts. Which,
And you're outside, so the vibration is not as bad because that's the only place I could go
Yes.
see a concert also.
But it's been something now, it was something that we used to go see music all the time. We went to, when we first got together, we went to concerts constantly. And we'd go to Live Aid, 12, 15-hour concerts, then we jumped to another concert. And so it was good that we were able to start doing this again. So now the kids, like for Mother's Day, birthday, they buy me concert tickets.
Nice.
But it has to be PNC, and it has to be someplace I can sit outside. We recently tried doing one inside. It didn't go as well. I fidgeted, I think, for 90% of the concert. I was like, oh please, oh please.
So
But
hard.
I did it. And, we didn't stay all the way to the end because I couldn't.
Right.
But he was thankful that I tried, and I felt good
Yeah.
because he appreciated it.
That's it. They do so much for us
Yes.
that sometimes you do have to kind of say, you know what, this may not be the first thing. Like I got my husband tickets. He's a big baseball fan for and he's an Orioles fan for a game down at Camden Yards. And I swear it was the luckiest day. It was the shortest game. It was a really quick game. And I like sports too, but it was such a quick game. I think it actually broke a record. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. Because I didn't have, it was 9 innings, but it was like 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down. I was like, wow, this is awesome. We
do
did
this.
something he really liked, and and he loved it. He was in heaven. But it wasn't so awful for us to sit through, 9 innings can be 9 really
It could be
long.
10, yeah.
Right, it could be a long game. But so sometimes you do have to just sort of think, like, what can we do? And as Sharon always says, you don't have to stop doing, you just have to do things a little differently.
or
And think of,
plan a little bit.
Don't try a NASCAR race. I tried.
I mean, we go out to dinner. We like to go out, but that's also a problem people bump into. And then, it's noisy, and that's one of the things I know I have a big problem with. So we now go earlier. Well, I don't want to do the senior citizen time, but
Why not? Why not?
But we'll go earlier when it's not as crowded, or we'll go an off period or an off day. But we're still getting out to do it. But we're doing it within my limitations. He's happier because we did it. We went and did something. He's not stuck in the house all the time, and I'm not laying on the couch going, "What else is on TV at 4 a.m?" Because it also helps you sleep a little bit sometimes because you did something. Your mind gets a break. Because I don't know about you, but my mind runs all night long. It doesn't shut off, and it's the pain, it's this, it's that, it's wake
Yes.
up, it's sleep, it's the.
and as you said, if you do something together, you also then have a shared topic of conversation,
I used meditation to sleep. I learned meditation when I was 18 years old from a guru in Garwood, New Jersey. And
I didn't expect Garwood, New Jersey.
and stopped using it for a very, very long time, and went back to it when I started getting, the pain started getting so bad that I was taking way too many pills and couldn't function and couldn't get off the house, couldn't get off the couch. And I thought, you know what? I know I have these tapes somewhere, and pulled out the tapes and flipped them to a CD. And at nighttime now I have my little routine that I do, and it's a imaging tape, and I put one of the ears that's in, and every single night there's 3 different images that are on the CD, and I never get to the 3rd one. I'm always out.
That's great.
I
That's
know
good.
for a fact that she stays out. We went away one
No,
time.
they took that away.
She was out. She
They
didn't move.
took that
I was
away
up
from
all
me.
night. She never moved. I was like, I can't. I'm so envious.
They took that away from me, that
But that's
what I
another
was using then.
problem, too, is when you're sleeping with somebody in the same room is the constant discomfort. And it's not that they're intentionally doing it, but they're moving the blankets, they're moving the
How
pillows.
dare they move in that bed?
I know. And it's like you just get to the point where you're going, I literally used to iron my sheets because the wrinkles of the sheets hurt.
Wow.
And somebody had mentioned it to me, and I tried it, and I was like, I was sleeping on glass. It was
Wow.
great. It was nice and smooth. But then somebody started moving. And it was like, so then you build the pillows up. We talked about what your husband did for you. So there's nothing touching you. And after a while, like, how much do you go through to do that
Mm-hmm.
before your next thing you know, you sleep on the couch because it just might be easier. Maybe not the smartest thing to do long term, but at some point they have to sleep. You have to try to sleep. And, you know, we might be up till 4 or 5 in the morning, and they may have to go to work, do something else.
Right.
We can't do that every night for them.
You can't keep your partner up
So
all
I don't know
night.
how you work that out, you know, because you don't want to lose that touch, that comfort.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get past that though?
I don't know. I mean, that's something I think
It's like
discussion
starting all.
sometimes
It's like
help.
starting all over again.
Yes.
We start
And
out
dating.
together, and then one of us often has to
Right,
leave
we
because
have
we
our
just
own
can't.
bedrooms there for a while because the sound, the snoring of him, his alarm clock, just everything.
I flip into the TV channels because those lights will wake me right up because we know light, you know, even if I just doze off, you change the channel, I wake up. Like
And you don't want your children to see it all the time, like,
Yeah.
oh, they're already, they think,
Right,
oh, they're
oh my
arguing,
God.
but it's not. It's just, I was up, down, I don't want to
what's
You
wrong with mommy
inconvenience
and
everybody
daddy?
else.
They're
And-
sleeping in
Oh, if
separate
they hear him,
rooms.
if they hear him snoring, they'll know why you're moving. Don't worry about it. They'll get it.
But you know how do you
just say,
explain
could
that
you
to
sleep
people
next to
that, you
somebody
know,
snoring like that?
I'm doing
No.
it because I care, but we also want to care. So where do you know, do you say, okay, one night a week I'll make sure I'll spend in the room. I don't care if I stay up all night, but I'll stay there. Or what do you put first?
Right.
And I think sometimes that's a personal choice in your own relationship.
Yeah,
is-
everybody has to find their own way. As I said, you can start out together, or you can try, you know, and try as long as you can. And then if you get to the point where, oh my gosh, I can't take this anymore, one of you, I mean, we always used to joke that when our youngest, I said to Hank, I'm sure everyone in town thinks we're getting divorced because our older two were off in college. And like, one of us would come out of somebody's room every morning. Like, we'd start out, but by the morning we'd come out of one of the older two girls' rooms. I'm like, I'm sure all of the girls, other girls who are sleeping over,
Are going, what is going
are like,
on?
wow, did you see Mrs. Ludington coming out of it?
Well, our rule in the house has always been, where if I fall asleep, leave me. Just
Yeah.
leave me. Don't touch me because the minute you take the book out of my hands, I wake up.
Mhm.
You turn the
Exactly.
TV off,
Don't
I
turn
wake
off
up.
the light. Don't do anything. Don't take my
just
glasses
back out
off.
of the
Right.
room and let me sleep. And then it's sometimes because you wake up at 4 in the morning, you go, why did everybody abandon me?
Yeah.
You know, they all left me here. Why? And but it's sometimes making them understand we're not doing it to isolate them. We're not doing it to say, hey, look, we don't care. It's just finding a balance.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's a lot of communication. It takes a lot of communication.
It does.
It takes some work.
My friend will say, you know, especially when I'm having a bad attack, he'll say, what can I do? What can I do? Can I do this? Can I do? I'm like, no, you can't do. I'm sorry, you can't do anything. just
Somebody used to tell
But
me.
he,
Stay-
but he
just-
wants to.
he
He
wants
wants
to.
so badly
He
to
just
help.
don't
You
even
don't know what you want.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like you
Gets
just
to
want
the
to
point.
scream and
Right.
just
Yes.
like, nobody tasked me, nobody touched me, nobody asked me a
Exactly.
Just
question.
want to run away
Yes.
from it all sometimes.
Yeah.
Somebody
Oh,
told me
yes.
once to keep a list around. So when somebody asks what I can do for
Oh.
you, here's the list.
Well, that's a good.
You know, keep it on the
that's a great
refrigerator.
idea.
So I,
Great.
you know, when I
Oh,
want to
that's
help
a
you,
very good idea,
I
Sharon.
don't know what to do for you, and it could be as simple as throw a little laundry and do the towels,
Oh,
or
that's a
sweep
great
up my front
idea.
porch, or just
Make some
small,
coffee and have a seat.
The emergency list.
do small things, because then they feel like they've done something for you.
Oh, that's
You don't have to
great.
think of it on the spot, because sometimes we're past that point. It's just like, please, I can't deal, I can't, and you don't want to hurt their feelings. So it's like, you know, they just call it a honey-do list. You know, just go look at the list. There's something on there. I'm sure you can find this. Take 10 minutes to let me kind of deep breathe and.
My daughter plays the harp. You know, like
Oh,
that.
this is amazing.
Wow.
And we did a little experiment when I was having a really bad attack one time, and like I knew I couldn't get it under control for a long time. And she came in with the harp and she started playing. And after about 10 minutes, I started to I could start to breathe, and I said, you've got to put this on a CD.
You
So
should tape it.
Great.
tape it and put it on a CD or something.
Yeah.
There's just an article in a
Because
major
it really did-
magazine
it
about
helped-
pain
it brought me
management
down.
and
Absolutely,
music.
it does.
You know, sometimes if you get down just a couple of notches,
Right.
you can at least
Get
not
under
feel like
control.
not, you know.
Yeah.
You can
Like
you can
bearable.
you can bear. It's tolerable. It's to the
You
point
can
you can
tolerate it.
function.
Yeah, like
It's not great.
My
No.
doctor's given me an idea where I trick my nerve. Is put it under the coldest water I can stand, the area that's hurting, for 2 or 3 minutes, as cold as I can stand it, and
Okay.
then
And
switch
then
the water
hot,
to hot,
yeah.
as
Okay.
hot as I can stand it,
Okay.
for 2 or 3 minutes,
Okay.
and keep on doing that back and forth
Oh.
and back and forth.
Oh.
Okay.
And what
That
you
would be
do
a
is
shower
you,
for me.
and that's still fine. You don't, if you have a handheld shower head, you don't have to get your hair wet then, at least you could at least just put it on your arm.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is, as he explained to me, is you're tricking your nerve.
Confusing
where
it.
your nerve doesn't
Changing
go,
the message.
whether to go high or
Oh,
low
never
or high
So
or
it was
low.
just sort of,
And he said to me, he said, it's a good way, he said, not to get rid of all of your pain, but just to bring some of it down.
Just bring it down a
Oh,
couple
that's a good
notches.
point.
Yeah.
And he says it tricks it where it doesn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
so it just sort of,
You confuse it.
That's really interesting.
It does kind of work, because I used to sit on the edge of the tub
Mm-hmm.
and do like warm water on my legs,
Mhm.
and then they'd be so super hot, I would get ice it with an ice bag, and I thought, if I ever told anybody I did this, they'd think I was crazy.
Oh.
And then I found out it's like a legitimate therapeutic
Yeah.
Oh,
technique.
Wow. I've
I
never
used
even
to walk
thought
around
of
the
that.
extension cord with the heating pads.
Yes.
Me
Until they
too.
make all the ones now that are, microwavable and stuff, so you no longer tripping on 100-foot cords
Yeah.
and
Right.
wrapping things around. But, it's
Yeah.
amazing. Temperature does make a big
Oh, it sure
difference.
does.
Yeah.
Sure
Moving
does.
air.
Well, one of the things we brought in to our support group, which I loved, is we always do it once a year. And I've been in the support group long enough now, where we have show and tell, where everybody brings in whatever
a tool
or something,
or something.
Product
or
that they
say
find
something that
helpful.
works for them.
Mm-hmm, that's
And
great.
you get the greatest ideas from some of these things, and everybody wants, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that?
Yeah,
What'd
Because
you?
we'll talk about it, but it's
Mhm.
like one thing to see it in use, and somebody, and oh, wow, that's a really cool cane. It glows in the dark, so you don't
Yeah.
trip over
Yeah.
it. Or
Or just down
that's
to certain pairs of socks.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's amazing what you get
know?
excited over now.
Somebody in our group all
It's
wear cashmere
amazing,
socks.
yes.
Or
Yeah.
just like the rocker knives, had no clue
Yes.
until I came to the support group at my lowest points ever, and it's uphill little by little, but I'm getting there.
It's a cocktail.
It's just like my marriage now. It's starting at the bottom and working
Mm-hmm.
back up again, and
Mhm.
It's a cocktail. It's a piece here. It's a piece there. You throw it in,
It's
and
just a
eventually
puzzle.
something clicks.
Turning over all the rocks to
Just
see
get-
what
Well, it's
you
not a
can
magic
find.
bullet, but if little by little all these things,
Work.
the
They add.
aggregate of all those things like help.
but with a group, that's where you get all of the
Mhm.
little ideas from
Mhm.
and the little tricks, and let me try this, and if it works, it works. If not,
Well, that's always one
no,
thing
you're
we
home.
state.
You're
to the group.
blindfolded. You have no clue what to do, especially if you're not out of the house working.
That's
My
what I always
best
tell
thing is
everybody,
still
too.
booties with stones in them.
Loves
And
her
you-
booties.
My booties, and you take my
Loves her
booties and you
booties.
put them in your my microwave, and you get them
warm
hot,
stone.
and the stones are hot. And when I'm sitting there watching TV, I'll go and put the booties on, and again, it's my feet that are bad, and I'll put the booties on. It's that warmth from the stone, and then the smell of the eucalyptus
Mhm.
is in the stones, so I can smell that. And I mean, I've had them for years, and I can still smell that eucalyptus, which again is soothing.
It's
Have
just
you
funny
used
though,
them yet?
we'll have people
Couple
cringe in the
minutes.
meeting because not everything works for everybody.
Would it take
And
the
some
smell
people
out,
go,
the
"Heat."
My feet
Oh
don't
God, 'cause
smell.
we had one woman had trouble with ice
I was thinking
packs,
it
so
might
she
take the
died.
eucalyptus out.
Wait, somebody
My
else
feet
had
don't
trouble with
smell.
heat, and we had people in
My nails
blankets,
don't grow.
people
Yeah.
taking off their clothes, people with pillows, because everybody needed it. We all
Different
react
I know they no
different to
longer-
everything, the medication. So one of the things
Because
we've
4
always
out of 5
been,
toes don't move.
what works for one doesn't work for everybody.
Right.
Just here's the information, go try, and somebody will come back and that is the coolest thing that you gave me. Somebody goes, it did nothing for me, and
Right.
it's
Did
like, okay, but
Yeah.
that's kind of how it works.
She gave me some ointment that has this, what's it, DMSO in it, and it has
It's called
eucalyptus.
Soothonol, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I found it, right,
Yeah.
and said, oh, Chrissy, maybe you should try this.
You
I don't
never know.
You just always are looking, right? Always
Even
looking.
it's just those few minutes to distract your brain.
Yeah.
Enough where you don't feel the pain for
That's
about
right.
3 minutes. It decompresses you, and you can start all over again until the pain builds back up again. It's kind of like meditation. My therapist recommended it, but it took me a while to even find out someone's voice that worked for me or didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Voice is big with
Yeah,
me.
and
And
sound
the
is
gentleman
huge.
had too deep of a voice. Woman had too high pitch of a
Mhm.
voice until I found the right
Wow.
monotone, and then it was okay. And
Well,
it does change your brain.
We're nearing our ends again. God, this time goes so fast. So I want to thank you all for coming, and again, thank RSDSA for doing this. And if anybody needs information or questions, please contact RSDSA. Thank you. We're
Thank
done.
you.
Thank
Thank you, Sharon.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Sharon. Good job, as always.